This episode is sponsored by Day by Day Book, a guided journal that helps you navigate the ups and downs of change while creating a life you love. For more information on the classic, recovery, or teen day book, go to livedaybyday.com. Now, many of you may think of personal branding as something influencers pay attention to stand out on the internet. But the personal branding I'm talking about is so much more than that. It's about how you build a reputation and presence offline that reflects who you are, what you stand for, and the contributions you want to make in the world. Once you do this, decision makers, stakeholders, and clients will begin to see you in a whole new light. Welcome to Journeys Through Change, a podcast that inspires women to let go of the fear and say yes to possibility. I'm your host, Noelle Van, an author, creator, and empowerment coach who spent years in corporate America helping innovators and leaders ride the waves of change with ease and grace. I now work with women to step into change and unleash the power they have to create a life they love. Whether you're contemplating a change in your career, relationship, health, lifestyle, or anything in between, nothing's off the table. I'll be offering up simple insights to help you manage the ups and downs of change and sharing interviews with successful women who took a leap of faith to create the life they knew they were meant to live, sharing their wisdom, advice, and all the juicy lessons they learned along the way. So get cozy in your favorite comfy chair and let's get started. I'm going to make this episode short and sweet this week. So let me start with this. As those of you who've been listening know, I've been recently talking about stepping into your personal power and how I help women make those internal and external power pivots to build more successful and fulfilling careers. Now, the first step in the power pivot method is to identify your success story and create a magnetic personal brand. Now, many of you may think of personal branding as something influencers pay attention to stand out on the internet, but the personal branding I'm talking about is so much more than that. It's about how you build a reputation and presence offline that reflects who you are, what you stand for, and the contributions you want to make in the world. Once you do this, decision makers, stakeholders, and clients will begin to see you in a whole new light. With that said, I want to share 4 of the common mistakes you want to avoid when building a personal brand. Mistake number 1 is waiting to be noticed instead of advocating for yourself. Now, a lot of folks assume hard work will speak for itself, but visibility matters. If you're not sharing your wins, taking credit where it's due, or speaking up in meetings, people may not even realize the value you bring. Self-advocacy isn't bragging, it's strategic. Mistake number 2, not building relationships outside of your immediate team or community. Think of it this way: opportunities often come from networks, not just performance. Limiting yourself to your direct manager or team can shrink your chances of getting tapped for broader roles. Cross-functional relationships, mentors, and champions are your career accelerators. Mistake number 3, failing to articulate your value or career goals. This is a big one that we often do. If you can't clearly explain what you bring to the table and where you want to go, it's tough for others to help you get there. Being vague about your aspirations make it harder for decision makers to see you as a fit for that next level opportunity. And finally, mistake number 4, neglecting to showcase your value beyond skills, experience, and performance. This is actually the number 1 oversight people make, and it can be so simple. Think about it. You have lived a life full of dimension, and with the right approach to spotlighting your unique qualities, the full story of you is far more compelling than you think. It literally makes you a magnet for drawing in decision makers who will want more of you. In fact, I would say it puts you back in the driver's seat to create a career you want. So when thinking about stepping up and standing out, be purposeful about how you show up and the impression you want to make. That is of utmost importance. It will start opening doors you never thought existed, as others stand back and take notice of the person you've become. That's it for now. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Journeys Through Change podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us and leave a review if you've enjoyed this episode. And share it with a friend or on social media to spread the good word, so more women like you can find us and join in on the fun. For more information on the podcast or Day by Day book, go to livedaybyday.com.